Hey everyone, this is Scrap Computer, and this guide is going to be covering stacking at base. This guide will only be applicable for a few certain champions, but I hope it helps you if you, by any chance, play any of them. Alright, now into it. When I say stacking at base, I mean getting stacks on abilities that have stack counts. For example, Maokai gets passive stack for his passive sap magic whenever a spell is cast near him, by himself or by anyone else. You can get these stacks in base and not have to waste mana. In other words, you can cast your Q&E as soon as you get back to base, then run down to your lane to have 2 extra stacks for the next fight. It's not much, but it is a small advantage. Or for example, start game, you can get a few extra stacks before going into lane, giving you a free heal advantage. This is a pretty important tactic on these champions, and in some of these champions can give you a massive advantage. And for some I'll be covering some more important notes on counting stacks for the most part. Now I'll finally cover which ones can do it. Stacking ability champions. Number 1, Ahri. In this example I'll use my W start game to get charges for my lane. Normally, well later on into the game, I use my W and E as soon as I get back to base to give me an instant 2 stacks. As soon as you recall, you might as well get 2 free stacks. As Ahri, you want to have your stacks up as much as possible, so in base it gives you a free time to do so. In addition, another tactic is start game, charge your full stack with your W if you want to invade. Number 2, Corki. With this guy we want to use our stacks to get a stronger stack. Every 3 shots of Corki's ulti, Missile Barrage, he gets a big one. This is basically a missile that is very powerful and we want it up as much as possible. To achieve this you can fire your normal, less powerful missiles off in the base until you get a big one stack. We are not wasting mana, and of course the rockets will come back with the cooldown timer by the time we get to lane anyway. So it's a big one with a free stack. This is coming into my future Corki guide / it's already there for everyone asking about it. Number 3, Malzahar's passive. With our passive we want our Voidling in lane to help us zone and of course to get us as much damage as possible. So to do this we get stacks in base by using our Q. Pretty simple. Number 4, Kassadin's E. This comes in 2 forms. The first is stacking Kassadin's E in base. You can do this by using your W or ulti, or of course if some of your allies use spells. Of course we can't use our Q to stack it, and we can't use our E as that's the ability we're charging, but when you come back to base use your W and ulti to get 2 instant stacks on your E. Again, much like Ahri, you want it up as much as possible. Number 5, Kassadin's ultimate. The other tactic is kind of OP late game. You can use teleport or home guards or both and to make a massive amount of damage. If you stack your ultimate in the base, you can charge it to insane amounts and join the team fight with a ton of free stacks and ultimate and potentially kill a single target, rocketing your damage. The example is me without any mana items, no AP, I couldn't stack it much as I didn't have much mana, but try to envision it with a real fed Kassadin and it's pretty much a pentakill. If you charge this up to say, triple, quadruple what it normally is, then go into a team fight with Telly, it's kind of a pentakill. Number 6, Rumble's passive. Generally Rumble gets extra damage on his abilities or extra effects if his heat is above 50%, or in other words in yellow. Start game, it takes a long time to stack up Rumble's passive, and due to this you want to use your Q start game before going to lane or while travelling to lane if it's mid game. So if you die when you're heading up top lane, start using your Q while walking there to get the heat up immediately. Even when you're covering the blue buff for example, you can still do this, just sit in the bush and keep your passive heat at around 50% plus. This means that if someone invades you have more damage, and of course, when you get to lane you will have a massive advantage with the heatsink already on. Number 7, Vladimir's E. Vlad can stack his E and get it to full stacks before coming to lane. meaning he has the maximum amount of damage he possibly can. This is mostly a tactic for mid game. I do not advise it start game as you can't afford the HP. The example is just that, an example. Mid game this works a lot better as you can sustain damage after getting to the lane easily. So mid game, get the stacks up, go to lane, kill people, all good. Number 8, Maokai's passive. I've already mentioned Maokai. For this example I only would do this until normally I get 4 stacks for top lane Maokai. The reason I don't get 5 stacks is for this. This means I can trade with my normal fight, or my Q or my E, and have the regain up immediately, rather than having it up and auto attacking and wasting the heal when I'm on full health. I get a trade off with my ability then heal when I auto attack them. For jungle I get 2 stacks then go up. Remember, when you get into jungle you're stacking the saplings, so we only need 2 stacks in base, and when we stack them in the jungle we'll get that up to 4. And then once we get the last ability we get to heal off the blue buff. There is no point in getting full stacks and healing at full HP when we have the charged auto attack. 4 charges are perfect. So we save a charge for when we lose HP. We use our sapling and benefit fully off the heal. It's all about monitoring how many passive stacks you want. For top lane I usually get 4, and for the jungle I get 2. Pretty standard. So pretty much as Maokai, when you get into base mid game, just, Q, E, get a few passive stacks for free and then leave. It's still useful. Number 9, Sona's passive. Use Sona's Q, W or E, but to be fair it's normally the Q so we get the burst, to get our passive up. This means as soon as we get into lane we have an empowered Q and an auto attack, an empowered Q auto attack. Well, this chunks nearly anyone. A sneaky tactic is to get 2 stacks, go into lane, then Q for a surprise auto attack stack. It's up to you if you want to zone immediately with the stack or if you want to surprise and damage them. Zilean. Zilean doesn't really stack anything, he's more anti-stacking. For Zilean, use your W as much as you can in base to get your ulti cooldown as low as possible. This includes going to lane. I thought I'd sneak him in here. He's not really a stacking champion, but I wanted to mention him. It's a very useful tactic. Item to stack at base. Item because there's only one. Tear of the Goddess and Archangel Staff. They're technically the same item. This item can be stacked at base and going to lane with ease. Clearly in this example I stay in base too long to show it off, but a quick 3 casts of your spells when buying items and regaining can be an easy 3 stacks. And it's a good tactic as it's free mana and it's free time. You're in base, you're waiting to regain, you might as well get some stacks when walking out of or even into the fountain. If you're low mana and you've just been pushed off, start casting spells when you're walking to the fountain if you're close enough. Just all examples you should keep in mind. And that's it. This tactic is actually important on these champions / for this item. Getting your free stacks before you leave base at any point in the game is pretty useful. For example, as Ana you can back, WE, then run back to lane with 2 free stacks. They're free, it's easy, meaning that your next rotation is a stun. Without this, well, your next rotation wouldn't be a stun. I know it sounds very small, but it's actually very snowbally. Just a quick and useful tip. And that's it guys. If you like it, if you dislike it, dislike it. If you thought it was awesome and I'm awesome, you can sub. If you don't like it, you can unsub. If you think the video is helpful and can possibly help anyone that plays these champions, share it away and have an absolutely great day guys.